Grego's here. How are we going? We're going well. It's a new year, baby. It's the first. No? Is it the first? It's the second. 2nd of January. First Sunday. So here we are. We've got some Sunday tunes on. Good old Joanna. And yeah, look her up, Joanna Newsom, if you're into your fucking. Pardon me, I never swear. If you're into your fairy folk, what else? How else would you describe it? Alt. Yeah, it's definitely an alternative. Seen her live, it was great. Anyway, so where was I? Distracted. That's where. So I'm just chilling here with Bo and Andrew. Hey, Bo, come here. He's a good boy. Yeah, he's a good boy. What are we doing here? Well, you know about, well, you probably don't know so much about. Let's do a quick tour around Mooi Meise. We've been doing, put it this way, this car was pretty much a wreck. And we had big sessions on the car. With Lawrence and who else helped us on this? I think Jonathan did as well, didn't he? Jono, big boy. Yeah, so no, that was the Datsun. Anyway, neither here nor there. So I think it's a 63, pretty sure, could be wrong. So yeah, we've basically replaced a heap of metal in the car. Some of it was still usable, but basically standard splitty stuff. All the bottom 6 inches in particular were replaced. So and the probably the bodywork's at about 90%, very close to being ready to paint. So has been sitting outside for a while, covered over. You can see the tarp's been gently rubbing against the epoxy. Hasn't rubbed through the epoxy though. See, this is just where it's, yeah, that's that PR250, it's good stuff. So, let me tell you a story. So the owner initially was talking about going down the Tesla conversion path. So it was just a big mission to try and work out the best way to go with that. But in the end, the owner made up his mind to say, well, maybe we'll do it down the track, just not right now, because it is a big investment. So very hard to lock in a number. There's no plug and play kits available for these, so you have to custom make stuff, and when custom make stuff takes time equals money. Well, most of us like to get paid, you know, so that's the story behind it. So that is why, now we'll go underneath the car. Oh God, it's hard getting old. So that is why we picked up from a 68, 69 model lowlight, all the IRS stuff. So we had the full axle, like everything from the torsion tube right back to here, a cut with everything on it. So we've got the all-important arms, and the spring plates have to be the correct length. You can't use the later ones on there. So should I get up? No. So so what we did is cut these things off. I don't know, is it too dark in there? It could be too dark in there. Let's get some light. Hang on. Oh yeah, grab me some light. That'd be great, Andrew. So, long story short is, this has got a full, not quite full because of torsion bars and tubes. The tube is still, thank you very much. So, yeah, the torsion tube and the bars inside, oh, wrong way, shit. So, torsion tube and bars in it are still the stock splitty. But now we've got independent suspension, so that required, when you go, let's look at this for a view. Oh, that's super uncomfortable. Damn, gotta get a hoist. So when you, probably looking up my nose, when you get a Tesla conversion, you can't have the frame horns there, they're in the road. Because I know people do IRS conversions on these, and you can get both bolt-on and weld-on brackets to hold the arms, but they keep the frame horns to support the gearbox. Well, we're basically trying to replicate an early bay window here. So the gearbox is not supported at the top end, it's only supported at the back. So yeah, basically low lights, the gearbox isn't supported here. The later ones had a support welded into a frame. It's like a gusset frame over the top that held the gearbox up independently. So splitties, as you might not know, splitties, basically the gearbox is fully supported on the frame horns and the motor just swings in the breeze, 4 bolts, and she's just hanging there. Nothing is supporting it back. But what we're doing, because we're replicating basically all early bay window in here, we've just got, pulled the axles out of the way they line up nicely with the hubs, by the way. The angle's really good. So now we've got to make custom mount for that end, but also here, this is off a 71 dual cab, this motor and gearbox, and it was just to do a test, basically test fitting. So there will be another motor going in here and probably even another gearbox, but we needed these for all the measurements. So we needed this tinware to line up relatively with the sides here, so getting the distance of the motor correct. And this means that we are making custom mounts for here, so we want to run all factory parts, so we'll use the factory rubber mounts that were designed for this. Now the early low lights, so the low lights 68 to 69, yeah, 70 to 71 is different again. So this is 70 to 71, this crossbar arrangement, and the 68 69 had like a flat bar there. Slightly different, but the ends were the same. They had this cobra head on there. Looks like a cobra head, doesn't it? So, we're trying to work it all out, trying to get it to fit, customizing. So we've got some nice thick stuff here. That we're going to make some mounts. So we're going to weld that off there onto the chassis. But as you can tell, like these were cut too long, so basically it's going to be, we'll have to trim this off across here so that it sits up higher, and we'll have a hole here for the mount to bolt into. So it's going to be sitting up something like that, on the correct angle and everything like that. And we're going to weld it to here, and then once we've got this part in, then we're going to strengthen it across the bottom here, like weld some gussets to it and everything. So that up there is, excuse all the cobwebs, it's been in storage a while. We had to work out also where to put shock mounts. So Andrew made up those a while ago. Yeah, they are super heavy duty. We've got the bolt through there already, so the shock's ready to go in, bottom down there obviously, so that will work quite fine, I think. So you can see where the shock mounts are. The standard shock mounts for the Splitty are way back there, so they don't work. Yeah, different setup on the Splitty altogether. It had a swing axle gearbox, and yeah, all different. So yeah, a bit of customizing going on. Time consuming, pretty shitty when you don't have a hoist, and also like this motor and gearbox was completely caked with crap. So we took the fan shroud and generator off to make it a little bit lighter, and so it's not quite a full dummy motor, because we need to have this tinware on so we can actually seal it off. Yeah, so basically, yeah, look at all this crap here, like that's got that off the back there, and this all this crap and the old engine mounts completely crumbled, so we'll get new ones of those to make it work. Yeah, but all that rust and shit basically fell out when we removed the motor, so a complete and utter mess. So I've got some stuff to spray here, so that we're going to have to clean up the booth now, but that's the way it goes. So yeah, so the moral of the story is things take time, and this and when there's, like, basically if the owner had never have mentioned an electric conversion or whatever, or the possibility of it in the future, then we probably wouldn't have bothered to do the IRS conversion. But because it's on the cards for down the track, it's a case of, well, why not do the IRS conversion now? And that's a big lot of work that won't need to be done in the future, so it will save him down the track. So yeah, so basically, if you've ever seen a Tesla, even a small Tesla small drive, basically it's about the size of a gearbox, and it goes crossways, and it just has an axle out each side to drive straight to the VW hubs. You get there's a company in the UK that make axles that are Tesla one side and VW on the other side. So there's actually nothing in the engine bay at all. There's nothing joined to the torsion tube and whatever. So all you might use that for is to make custom mounts, you know. So there's actually nothing in here, so you can put batteries in there, and you can possibly put more batteries under the floor. So yeah, I'm quite, you know, I love working on these old motors, and they're so simple and whatever, but I'm also excited for different conversions. Like, I know some people love their Subarus and whatnot, but you know, I believe in a bit of variety and the lack of maintenance needed, and never visiting a fuel station again. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, so it's not to be jumped on and say, oh, you're ruining a vehicle. I'm like, I think it's the opposite. So so basically what we've had to do here, talking about custom, is I wanted to use the torsion tube dimensions are all different. We had to trim a couple of little bits off in underneath here, but I want to try and use as much factory parts as possible. So this is the factory gearbox mount for low lights. I don't know whether it's the same on the highlights, but that comes up there, and there's a bit of rubber in there, and that just makes it a bit softer. We've had to make sure that it all marries up with the coupling and all that in there. That's been a mission in itself. We had to pull the gear rod out, and yeah. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to weld some metal across here, basically a support for the gearbox to hang off. Yeah, so that's what's going to happen there, and then it will, like, this could stay bolted there, and you could undo these two bolts here, and you'd be able to just slide the gearbox out, no problem. So I'm trying to use as much factory parts as possible. So now we've just got to adapt this mount with this torsion tube. So so that's what's been happening today. It's been a bloody a bit of cursing going on today. Lying under the car is generally what happens, and luckily the car's all been sandblasted underneath, so there's not a lot of crap dropping into your eyes from the car itself. It's only a bit off this crusty old gearbox. But yeah, like I said, it'll be yeah, it'll be okay. So that's the story with Mooi Meise. Mooi Meise. So it's pretty important that we get this tinware correct, sitting in the right place so that we can fit the rubber seals that slides in there. The flaps will actually go each side of that tin as the factory intended, basically. So the other motor that we've got, the original motor that came in it, we don't even know if it runs yet, but we'll work on that down the track. The main thing is that everything can be bolted in, and then yeah, the only thing that I'll be unsure of, maybe if you know, I think you can buy the adapter brackets. It might not be what they call a 3-point case. So the universal cases had these, you're able to put these 3 bolts in the bottom for a crossbar. If his is a genuine early model that's never been changed, then you've got to buy this adapter that fits over the oil pump cover and will actually hold a bar there. So that's another thing altogether. But let's see what we can do now. So make these mounts up. Yeah, I guess we've had this car this long now that we haven't really done a video series on it as such. So I'm going to start doing the videos now. So you've missed a lot of the major work. I had it on our Facebook page, so if you're keen, you can go to Van Zal's Restorations Facebook page and go back a couple of years and see the work we've done on it up to date. So, because I've been showing our work on Facebook for, since we started over 3 years ago, but YouTube's been more of a recent thing, so there'll be a lot to catch up on with this car. So anyway, keen on making this look mint. But I didn't want to start painting the body until all that was sorted underneath, because you got welding and stuff to do. I'd rather get that over with. So, Bo, what are you doing? Hey? Yeah. What are you drinking out of that for? That's not your bucket. Yeah. Okay. I'll go and make sure the dog's got something to drink. And yeah, that's all for now. Not real exciting, but maybe it is something a little bit different, a little bit not just rust repair and body work and paint. It's more about customizing to make basically a later model setup work in an early model body. So yeah, all right, that's it for now, and talk to you later.